UKSA's purpose is to broaden the horizons of young people, children and our students through two things: our water-based adventures through water sports and our education and training for maritime careers at sea. We train and provide water-based adventures for over 8,000 children a year and over 1,500 education and careers and professional training students each year. We've grown from sort of 7,500, 8,000 students to over 10,000. I think the most significant project that we've ever undertaken is our new capital build for our new accommodation facility. And overall we've raised over £4 million for that. And we're building this brand new modular 136 bed facility, which not only increases the number of beds on the site, but most importantly increases our flexibility and capacity. And overall, that project will enable another 3,000 children and young people to come and visit UKSA and benefit from our services. Following the success of the Capital Build Fund, we set and agreed our new strategy, and it focuses on two core pillars. One is around extended reach, so that's about widening access and increasing the number of children to come on our residential schools trips and our water-based adventures. And number two is about maritime depth, and that is about broadening the entry and exit points of all of our education and training for careers at sea. I think a great example of extended reach, and probably one of the things that UKSA is really proud of, is the work that we've done with the Yacht academies. And in 2019, before the pandemic hit, we had 17 Yacht Academy schools visitors, year 5 pupils, over 680 students in total coming on residential trips.
Predominantly our schools are in challenging areas, deprived areas. More than 50% of our children will be on free school meals. We seek out schools that have challenges. We want to work with schools where the children need a chance, where we can make a difference to these children's lives. So we've worked in partnership with UKSA for about the last 4 or 5 years. Without this partnership with UKSA, our children would not have these opportunities. Year on year, the feedback we get from children and parents as a result of it is that it's been an unbelievable experience. They come back and it's like they're physically grown. And I know it sounds a bit romantic, but there's magic involved in it before we actually get there and start the activities. We found as a trust that working with the UKSA has been an absolutely invaluable experience in terms of the quality of staff we work with, the professionalism, the care we get.
The other side of our strategy is that maritime depth piece. We've seen the demand for our programs continue to increase. That's a reflection of the growing maritime global sector. What we're trying to do, especially when we look at our maritime programs, is broaden the diversity and the number and types of young people that are coming through onto our programs. A great example of this is the work that we've done with Edmiston through forming the Edmiston Foundation.
We've worked with the UKSA to create a number of programs and courses. Ultimately, our aim is to get people on board a yacht as a career, but it's got to start somewhere. So there are a number of other courses that go right the way through to the Superyacht crew training program. And that is a 5-week residential course, full-time, for people of 18 years old and over. And at the end of that, they are qualified and ready to go and work on a yacht. We chose the UKSA as a partner because we want to work with the people who are the best. And it just so happens that UKSA is also the world's leader in what they do.
With our two strategic pillars of extending reach and maritime depth, we wanted to make sure that we had almost like a bridge between the two. So we've launched and created the Sea.Change Foundation, which is a 5-day residential program based in the school holidays, so that if we've had some children that have come on a residential school trip that have really loved the UKSA adventure, they get an opportunity to come back and spend 5 days with us, and it's basically like a look at the maritime sector. We've had some very generous donors that have come in and sort of seed funded the Sea.Change Foundation, and we're already in 2021 able to fund over 100 young people to come through that program, and our ambition is to get that to 500. Giving a child a great experience is one thing, actually then taking them and broadening their awareness and understanding of what's possible further on down the track for them in the future, and making that funded, because a lot of these children won't be able to access this type of training without the funding there. And then beyond that, providing them a bursary to come and access a full-time educational careers course. I think that's a real statement of intent from this charity, to provide those structured opportunities and pathways that will take a child from their first experience on the water, dipping their toe in at 6 years old, right the way through to potentially becoming an officer up to a 3,000-ton vessel. There's nowhere else in the world that does that. And the Sea.Change Foundation is a really, really integral and important link between those two core pillars. We are trying to reach out and support those children and young people and students that wouldn't otherwise be able to access our courses. And again, thanks to the brilliant, generous support of our donors, we've been able to significantly widen that access of support and funding to enable those young people to come and train and experience what UKSA has to offer.